हरे जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की क्रंदरा श्रीमद् शील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, text number 6. Lord Rishabhadeva's teachings. Evam manah karma vasham prayunkte अविद्ययात्मनि उपधीयमाने प्रीतिर्न यावन्मयि वासुदेवे न मुञ्चते देहयोगेन तावत् एवं मनः कर्मवशं प्रयुङ्क्ते अविद्ययात्मनि उपधीयमाने प्रीतिर्न यावन्मयि वासुदेवे न मुञ्चते देहयोगेन तावत् एवं मनः कर्मवशं प्रयुङ्क्ते अविद्ययात्मनि उपधीयमाने प्रीतिर्न यावन्मयि वासुदेवे न मुञ्चते देहयोगेन तावत् Mata is what word meaning? Evam, thus, manaha, the mind, karma vasham, subjugated by fruitive activities, priyante, acts, avidyaya, by ignorance, atmani, when the living entity, upadhiyamane, is covered, pritihi, love, na, not, yavat, as long as, mai, unto me, vasudeve, vasudeva, krishna, na, not, muchyate, is delivered, deha yogena, from the contact with material body, tavat, so long. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: when the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, it does not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being, and his mind is subjugated to fruitive activity. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again. Purport. When the mind is polluted by fruitive activity, the living entity wants to be elevated from one material position to another. Generally, everyone is involved in working hard day and night to improve his economic condition. Even when understands the Vedic rituals, he becomes interested in promotion to heavenly planets, not knowing that one's real interest lies in returning home back to Godhead. By acting on the platform of fruitive activity, one wanders throughout the universe in different species and forms. Unless he comes in contact with a devotee of the Lord, a guru, he does not become attached to the service of Lord Vasudeva. Knowledge of Vasudeva requires many births to understand. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. After struggling for existence for so many births, one may take shelter at the lotus feet of Vasudeva Krishna. When this happens, one actually becomes wise and surrender unto him. That is the only way to stop the repetition of birth and death. This is confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19:151. In the instructions given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Rupa Goswami at Dasaswamedha Ghat, ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते को न भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीजा. The living entity wanders throughout different planets in different forms and bodies. But if by chance he comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master, by the grace of spiritual master, he receives Lord Krishna's shelter and his devotional life begins. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. जय श्री श्रद्धा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings from all the assembled devotees so that I can speak what I heard from superiors for my purification and as service to all the Vaishnavas. It is very, very important and famous section from Bhagavatam. Prabhupada spoke several lectures uh, in this in these verses. So Lord Rishabhdev is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Pune, NVCC, we have opposite to that one temple is there. It is Shatrunjay temple. When we go inside, the deity Shatrunjay is none other than Rishabhdev. So he is worshipped by people who are Jain community. So here, Lord is giving teachings to his 100 sons. Actually, we are all sons of Lord only. So in that way, these teachings are equally applicable to all of us. So this is one of the theme we can see in Bhagavatam, several places. Lord is likes to give teachings to uh, devotees. Krishna is giving teachings to Arjuna in the form of Bhagavad Gita. And there is one more chapter, Uddhava Gita, in the end of Bhagavatam. And Lord Kapildev is speaking to his mother Devahuti. Like that, many places we see actually that Lord is giving teachings. So there are two things. One is called Shastra, another is called Shastra. When Shastra fails, Shastra has to act. So Lord comes to establish Dharma. That is the thing Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita. He comes Dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So why he has to do that? Because when Shastra, the teachings fail, then Shastra has to come into picture. In that way, the Lord has to establish Dharma. But prior to that, Lord is trying to establish Dharma by giving teachings through Shastra. So, if we understand the teachings and re-establish ourselves in our constitutional position, then actually there will not be any more misery. So the purpose of knowledge is to end suffering. So whatever suffering we are having in this world is due to some lack of knowledge. Wherever there is suffering, it is only because of not having knowledge. So knowledge, the purpose is to end suffering. But unfortunately, the person who are in lower modes, he thinks that knowledge leads to a kind of bondage. Actually knowledge should give rise to liberation. But the person in lower modes of passion and ignorance, he thinks knowledge is a kind of bondage. If I know something, what happens? I have to apply, I have to change, then it is a kind of suffering. So in the lower modes, the people think ignorance is bliss. Actually knowledge leads to suffering, but people are trying to end suffering by ignorance, with the help of ignorance. So in that way, here it is told, when the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, actually the living entity want to cover himself with the mode of ignorance in order to end suffering. So that is a world in which we are living. Actually we are trying to solve the problems with the help of ignorance, not with the help of knowledge. So in that way, so much intelligence we are investing in the service of ignorance, so that to end suffering. That's what is modern civilization is all about, using knowledge in the service of ignorance so that we can end suffering. So this is what actually, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita also, the similar theme comes in the third chapter. Arjuna asks actually Krishna, what is that force which is, you know, impelling us to act sinfully even without my desire? Hmm? Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichinnapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. We don't want to act sinfully, but still there is some force is there which is, you know, propelling us to act like that. Then Krishna speaks, this is the lust Arjuna. Kamayesha krodesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyayenami vairinam. So it is a lust which is acting us, which is forcing us to act sinfully. So, and Krishna speaks about where the lust resides in three places. One is senses, mind, and intelligence. These three places lust is going to reside. So, and then Krishna speaks about how the hierarchy will be there. Dull matter, above that senses, and above that mind, above that intelligence, above that the soul. This is the hierarchy. Ideally, what is supposed to be there? The intelligence has to, you know, control the mind. And mind has to control the senses, and senses has to manipulate the matter. But when there is ignorance, what happens is the total system changes. The dull matter controls the senses, and the senses control the mind, and the mind controls the intelligence, and the intelligence covers up the soul. In that way, the total things get completely changed. Here only it is said the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance actually. He doesn't understand the individual living being and the supreme living being. And he is subjugated by the fruitive activity. So, in that case, what happens, instead of using our rational thinking, you know, to control our emotions, we use our rationality to justify our emotions. So that's what is our modern education is all about actually. We are intelligently trying to justify our anarthas. And that's what is our training is given, how intelligently you justify your misdeeds. So in that way we are using our intelligence in the service of mind, you know, in the service of the impure mind especially. So this is everywhere we can see actually. But many times, even after knowing also, we also fall in the same trap of the mind and intelligence game. So it is said actually that how people interpret things according to their convenience. And there is a statement, it is said, we have to read Gita and Bhagavatam throughout life till the end of life. Yeah? And that is interpreted as read Bhagavatam at the end of the life. Understand? So how the truth is interpreted according to their convenience actually. So there is a auto denial system within all of us actually. Whenever truth comes which is against our interest, the mind conveniently it interprets in such a way that actually, you know, uh, rather than understanding the truth, it want to prove what I like that as the truth. It is said there is a fellow who is a very big drunkard, you know, and one fine day he got enlightened because of this. You know, my life got completely ruined. You know? So on that day he decided I have to do something. So he went into his room and so many bottles are there. He's breaking one bottle and saying, because of you, my career got spoiled. And he broke one more bottle, and because of you, my friends went away. Like that, he is breaking one bottle and speaking something related to that, what happened. And he picked up one more bottle, it is half full. And he told, because of you, nothing happened till now. You be there. you know. So you see, it seems that actually very funny, but how the mind cheats. How the mind always cheats. You know, it uses the intelligence in its service rather than hmm, understanding what is right. Here, the same thing is told by Rishabhadev actually. As long as the mind is covered by the fruitive activity, hmm, it is in the ignorance, it has to take the bodies again and again and again. So, the living entity, even though it is burdensome, it will never get tired of sense gratification. So that's what Devahuti says actually. I am tired of sense gratification when it comes to you know Lord Kapiladev. So that understanding, the sense gratification is tiring. A person understands after many lifetimes. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. You know. So in the conditioned state, Krishna consciousness is tiring. You know, hearing, chanting, all these things. Krishna consciousness is very tiring in the conditional state. But as a person advances more and more, for him, sense gratification become tiresome. He cannot do more sense gratification. After some time, he spends some time with materialistic people. He cannot be more time among the non-devotee circle because that is very tiresome. you know but a person who is a materialistic person who is coming to Krishna consciousness, he chants 2 rounds afterwards. It is very tiring. He hears the class for some time, afterwards he feels very tiring. In that way, as our conditioning is very deep rooted, you know Krishna consciousness becomes very tiring. As a person becomes more and more purified, actually sense gratification becomes very tiresome. So in that way, we see our Goswamis actually they used to chant for 20 hours, 22 hours, every day. They don't get tired. You know, Prabhupada sometimes used to say actually you can keep on chanting. Your devotee will never get tired, never get bored. You know, but we get tired, we get bored, right? So, but that is the evolution takes place as you keep on progressing in our Krishna consciousness. Actually, uh, Krishna consciousness becomes more and more relishable, and sense gratification becomes very tiring. So, in that way, Krishna is giving this knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. Then, how the problem will solve actually? If the mind is above the intelligence, if the intelligence is completely subdued by the mind, then whatever knowledge we have, we are using in the service of ignorance only. Then, how the situation gets rectified? Then Krishna speaks further that normal knowledge will not help. You require transcendental knowledge. When you receive the transcendental knowledge, then the transcendental knowledge can bring intelligence above the mind. Then only the things will start working. Whatever knowledge we are gaining, material level, that's happening is it is bringing intelligence below the mind. In that way, it is of no use. Whatever technological advancement, whatever we are making, it is all for the purpose of only to fulfill the demands of the senses. So, how the transcendental knowledge comes? That begins from the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It comes in disciplic succession, and it is given in the heart, not in the mind, not in the brain. It is given in the heart. That's what Bhagavatam says. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suryaha Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito. It is given in the heart, not in the mind. So what is that which is given in the heart, what is given in the mind? What is the difference? So the things which are given in the heart, the knowledge comes with the purpose. Not only just knowledge is given, along with the knowledge, the purpose of knowledge is given. This knowledge should be used in the service of the Lord. Where to apply this knowledge? So now we have material knowledge. The knowledge is there, but everybody studies only for the purpose of how to uh, gain more money and everything. It is said only Newton only felt actually how the apple falls from the, why the apple is falling, due to law of gravity. But everybody studies, nobody is interested actually law of gravity. Everybody thinks how can I get job by you know writing the law of gravity, and no, how can I eat a better apple, good quality apple I can buy. That's all. Nobody is interested in law of gravity or nothing actually. So in that way, hardly anybody is interested in science actually. Very few fellows. Only everybody is interested actually how to I gain money and how can I do sense gratification. That's all. So in that way, all the material knowledge actually what we gain, it doesn't come with any purpose. It comes with only one purpose actually. How can I satisfy my senses better and better? But only the transcendental knowledge, it comes with a purpose. That's why Prabhupada says, Maya apahruta jnanam. So first of all, your knowledge is stolen away and you are given knowledge. No. What is the use of that knowledge when the knowledge is stolen away by illusion? So first of all, we don't know where to apply the knowledge, how to apply the knowledge, what to do with that knowledge. So in that way, we have all the right knowledge for the wrong purposes. In that way, we are suffering more because of the advanced knowledge now. Before, the problems are not so many when the technology is not so much developed. Now technology is developed more, we have more problems than before. So why? Because we have all the better technology for wrong reasons. In that way, we are suffering more than before. So here, in that way, Krishna is speaking the transcendental knowledge can solve all the problems. And next, he is speaking about the benefits of transcendental knowledge. So what is the यथेधांसि समिद्धोग्निर्भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन ज्ञानाग्नि सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन. So just as a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, Arjuna, does the fire of knowledge burns to ashes all the reactions to material activities. So all the problems, all the karmic reactions, all the bondage will be get completely burned to ashes by transcendental knowledge. And he says there is nothing more auspicious in this world than the transcendental knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalena atmani vindati. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotion service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So there is nothing more auspiciousness actually, because the transcendental knowledge can completely uplift a person above the bodily consciousness. So in this chapter, in this verse, Prabhupada gave one class also, and Prabhupada is stressing the point Deha Yogena. All our problems are because of the Deha Yogena. We have to become Bhakti Yogena, but we ended up becoming Deha Yogena. In one of the lectures, somebody asks Prabhupada, what is sin? And Prabhupada says, if you think you are body, you are sinful. Can you imagine? If you think you are body, you are sinful. So everybody is sinful in that way. And the more you think you are the body, the more you are end up in sinful life. So in that way, here it is told, Prabhupada speaking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings to Rupa Goswami. Brahmanda Brahmate Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhaktilata Bija. Living entity is wandering in the species, 84 lakh species of life. whenever sometimes we see outside traffic, people are wandering, so many cars and bikes, throughout the city, here from here to there, there to here. So Prabhupada says in one lecture, I see so many people going from this end of the town to that end of the town. They are coming from that end of the town to this end of the town. So I think uh, these people can say to them, you do work there, I do work here. You no need to come here, I need to come here. In that way, they can settle it, right? Huh? But Prabhupada said that's not so easy. Right? People travel from there to here, here from here to there. So many trains are there from Delhi to Mumbai, Hyderabad to Delhi, Delhi to Chennai. Within the town also, so many buses are going from this end to that end, that end to this end. So much wandering, everywhere. People are wandering like anything actually. So everything is only for the purpose of only one thing: how to gain mastery over the material nature. In that way, they are trying to do all these things. But the more we try to do that, the more we come under the grip of material nature. People think that we are gaining mastery over material nature. You know, Karla dunya mutti mein. But the person who said, he went into the material nature. He is gone. So in that way, living entity is wandering throughout the Brahmanda since time immemorial. Only the fortunate soul, who comes in the contact with the Krishna and his pure devotee, spiritual master, his devotional life begins. So we also comes under the contact of spiritual master and trying to gain knowledge. Krishna says here, who is qualified to gain knowledge? There is transcendental knowledge is there, but there is qualification, right? Nobody can given anything free, right? In IIT, anywhere, entrance is there. Those who are qualified, they only get it. So what is the qualification for gaining the transcendental knowledge? Who is qualified, who is not qualified? That's what also Krishna says here. We'll try to read. Shraddhavallabate jnanam tatpara samyatendriyah jnanam ladva param shantim achirenadi. So here Krishna says two qualifications. One is Shraddha, and other is who is ready to subdue his senses. Our Shraddha is to be manifested in sense control. Then only he is eligible to attain the transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, who is fortunate is that fellow only fortunate. Whenever comes in spiritual literature, fortunate soul is that actually who is ready to control his senses, putting faith in the knowledge. He is the fortunate soul. Who is unfortunate soul? He doesn't have faith in the knowledge. He doesn't want to control his mind and senses. He becomes unfortunate soul. So fortune doesn't mean just something like lottery lag gaya aisa nahi actually. It's not some kind of lottery or something. It is that having faith in the knowledge and ready to control his senses and apply the knowledge, he becomes fortunate soul. And who is unfortunate soul? Here, ajnasya shraddadhanasya samsayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. So Krishna is speaking. But the ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scripture do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So here, in that way, Krishna is speaking about the qualification to attain the transcendental knowledge, and who is qualified, who is unqualified. So the most essential element is actually is the faith. So when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is speaking, if you can't believe him, whom you will believe? If God is saying something, if you don't have faith in that, and whom you can have faith? So in that way, when you invest in the faith, then our faith also increases actually. When you faithfully understand and apply the instructions, then you see the transformation and we gain more and more faith. So in that way, we have to gain the faith. That is the only ultimate wealth which we have, the faith in Guru and Krishna. When that is there, then the person can easily progress in his life and go back to Godhead actually. So unfortunately, here Prabhupada speaks, everybody is trying to gain better standard of life. So that's what he is trying. But even after knowing I am not the body and the spirit soul, also the Maya doesn't go away. He tries for higher planets. Those who are trying for higher planets, in one sense, he knows I am not this body and the soul, but still he is trying for the higher planets. Can you imagine how Maya is so strong actually? If you know you are not the body and the soul, why you have to try for higher planets? you know, okay, I am not the body and the soul. Okay, everything goes away. I will enjoy in the heavenly planet. That's what Hiranyakashipu also tried to do actually. He also aware I am not the body and the soul. He convinced his, you know, brother's wife and his mother and also everything about the science of soul. But he is trying for again eternality on the level of body. So this is how it is very very ignorance is so strong. Hmm. So only by the mercy of bona fide spiritual master we can come out of the ignorance. Hmm. In the Shastra, that story comes about a Mudgala Rishi. And there is a person who is a very, very austere person. It is said he eats only once in 15 days. Like we do fasting once in 15 days. He eats once in 15 days. You know, that too he lives by begging and everything along with his family. One day, Durvas Muni happened to come to his residence and ask for charity. And he gives whatever food he has in that day. He's about to break the fast. You know? And Durvas Muni eats till the neck. And nothing remains for him, you know, for his family. And with great hospitality, great happiness, he treats him and he sends him away. And he has to continue fast for 15 days more. Nothing is there. So again he comes exactly after 15 days. And again without any grudge, he again treats him, receives him well, and he gives hospitality and feed him. And Durvasmuni eats again everything and he goes. Again he comes after 15 days exactly the same time. And again he treats him very nicely, gives him hospitality, feed him and everything. Like that he comes 6 times, you know, continuously. And every time he treats him very cheerfully without any grudge. Arey, क्यों आता है उसी time, you know? Nothing like that. And Durvasmuni gets shocked actually. See, I can't believe actually somebody who has such control over his mind and senses and everything. He says, you are not a person to live in this world. You are fit to go to heavenly planets. You know, may you go to heaven. Like that, he blesses him. So after Durvasmuni goes from heaven, that aeroplane comes, and that those who are some dutas are there, na? Vishnu dutas, not that heavenly dutas. Huh? Devadutas. And Devadutas come and they ask, actually, aeroplane is ready, please board. Then he asks, actually, just please, I have some questions, please answer. Then till now nobody asked, everybody just get in, that's all. No, you are the first person asking. Please, please. Then he says, please tell what are the advantages and disadvantages in heaven. He says, there are only advantages, there are no people live always young, you know, they don't get any diseases and everything. There is always festivals going on, gardens are there, apsaras are dancing, you know, somaras is there. So like that, so many things they speak. Then Mudgal Rishi says, okay, okay, everybody speaks about their product only, positive side only, nobody speaks about negative side. Now you speak about what is the negative side. Then they think for a long time, and what is the negative side? Then they think, okay, when you come to heaven, you will be given this one kind of garland, very fresh garland, and that always remains fresh. It will never get fade away. One day it's get fade away, and that is the time your time is over, and you come back to the material world, earthly planet. That's all. And he says, then I don't want to come. He says, why? Then he says, see, if somebody is a very poor person, He's like a beggar, and he's used to it to live like that. And all of a sudden, he becomes a crorepati. It will be nice, right? But afterwards, again, he becomes a beggar. It will be worst, And going to the heaven is like that actually. I am always now living in austere situation. Now you give me so much heavenly pleasure, and again you send me back. I don't want actually. I want to go to that place where after going you will not come back. Is there anything like that? Tell me. Then they say actually that place is only Vaikunta. He says, I want to go there only. I don't want to go to heaven. You can go. He says. So in that way, only very, very fortunate soul who is understood actually. Bahanam Janmanamante. Prabhupada says it takes many, many lifetimes to understand, but we are giving that knowledge right now, which you don't need to waste so many lifetimes. You accept it. You know. So Prabhupada always used to say actually, which takes so many lifetimes, we are getting this knowledge very instantly. So only we have to have this Shraddha and Tatparas Samyatendriyaha. Only we have that faith and sense control. We can easily apply that knowledge and benefit from this. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.